Here we are. We are connected. I'm very excited for today's Pisces project. I am going to bring Andrea Clemente on. Let me see if I can request invite. Sending an invite your way. Accepts. Let me see. Andrea! Let's see if audio works. Testing audio 1, 2, 3.
I hear you. Do you hear me?
Boom, I hear you. Yay!
Close my fucking. Sorry, I cuss. Gotta close my windows because there's some nonsense going on outside.
So you made it home?
I made it home. Yeah.
Yay!
And here I am, all sweaty and disgusting and happy.
Pisces!
Pisces stuff. Yeah. It's good to see your face.
It's good to see your face too. I feel like it's been so long, but it's so nice to see you.
Dude, it's been at least a couple years since I got to like hug you and smush your face.
I'm pushing it for you.
I wish I could have stopped and seen you in Texas, but that like detour was like, it just proved too much.
When you get, and I knew the route you were driving, when you're driving that southern route, it doesn't seem that long. And then all of a sudden you're going over those hills and you're like, how many more hills do I have to go over? Like,
honestly, I blame Mario because he was like, we're going to beeline it from Phoenix to Austin. And I was like, dude, don't you think we should stop for the night, like Las Cruces or someplace like that? And he was like, no. He's like, I don't want to stop anywhere between Phoenix and Austin. He's like, it's scary. I was like, okay. So I just went with it. And then finally I was like, no, we have to sleep. I have to sleep in a bed.
Yeah. It's tough because like when you're on the road, you want to push it really, really hard. But then
I was like, let's make a fun adventure out of this. So anyway, so Pisces things.
We're here. This originally was a podcast, but I feel like intuitively this, I don't know, I just felt like, hey, maybe this should be video. Because I feel like you have so much knowledge and wisdom to share, and it's my podcast. I don't know what it is. Like, it's a project in and of itself, and I want to put it on video, but I don't like, so this is it. This is the adjustment. And yeah, your house. So, okay, so for those who don't know Andrea is an amazing friend of mine. We were co-workers at Yoga Works in Santa Monica, and that crew of wonderful women, we were just like this fucking family. It was amazing. And you and I just like clicked immediately. And Faye, our friend Faye, and we just like completely clicked and would talk about astrology all day and like boys and all the things. And how boys be being, you know what I mean?
Good times. Those were like the best times, man. Like that was the shiz. Like,
it was.
To work there and like, yeah, at that point in time, that was like the icing on the cake of my day, you know, because we were always closing shift. Like closing shift is the shit, you know. I was like, I have things to do for me in the morning, so like,
yeah,
fight me. I'm not coming in during the day. I have to go do my things, and then I'll come work when I wouldn't be doing anything else anyway but sitting on my ass and watching TV. That's my work. Like those kinds.
Yeah, it was like really nice. I actually feel like there are certain jobs that were my favorite, and I think working at Yoga Works all around, because I did Baltimore Yoga Works and transferred to Santa Monica, and I feel like I did both morning and evening shifts, And I just love, there's no feeling like opening a studio up and being the only one there and for like an hour. It's amazing.
But man, the weirdest would always happen when I opened. Like, still there for the, I can't even remember what she called herself, but she came in and just like one of our homeless, houseless neighbors who was
Aw.
a lot of drugs
Oh no.
come in and just poor Brie would be like, she got like full on penis, you know,
Oh no.
out in front of like in the middle of the boutique, and Brie was like, there's her penis. Okay, great. And I was like doing something in the bathroom, and she's like, maybe you should try this on. There was just always weird shit that happened on the opening shift, man.
Yo, I mean, was it us working when the guy came in bleeding from his head? That
Yes.
was us, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy because the two guys were fighting outside. The guy was legit just bleeding from his face. And we were like, okay, how's it going?
I looked like a zookeeper.
Somebody told you look like a zookeeper?
Somebody says I Somebody says I look like a zookeeper, probably because of my hat. I don't know. I just came back from the beach. I was like outside. I'm all like, I don't know. I'm not like feeling like my braids right now. Here, is this better?
I feel like you look like you're on a mission to get people into shape. That's what you look like to me.
Dude, I am on a mission to get people. Love your body, people. Like, why do you take better care of your car than you do of your, self? Weirdest shit that has ever happened to me. God, there's some things that pop up, man. When I first moved to LA, actually, this was before I moved to LA. This was like my first trip to LA. And I went down there and I was on a movie set. And I was working art department on this zombie flick. And so like, it was an overnight shoot because, zombies. And I'm driving to my friend's house where I was staying, and I'm like on the 5 South because we were filming up by, and I was giving some girl a ride home, and like we look over to our right, and there's this dude like jacking it, like he's in a pickup truck, and he's like lifting his hips up. I'm like, how are you even driving like this? Like we're in traffic, and he's like trying to. I'm just like, really? Like this is what you're doing at like 7:30 in the morning? Okay, you go. That might be one of my weirdest stories. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I'm not good on the spot. But that's just what popped in my head.
The amount of people jacking off just out in the open in Los Angeles.
Actually happened to be right before I left too. Like literally like a week or two before I moved away, we're like on the beach, and a few of us, taking some acro shots on the beach, and with this guy actually who I know who lives in Austin. I met him again there, and the guys actually picked up on it because this dude was like wearing a poncho, and he was standing like maybe like 5-10 feet away from us and just like going to town on himself. Right under his poncho. I'm just like, all right, I haven't run into that here yet.
You do you, boo. Those are those you do you moments where you just have to.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
I think, it's tough to like, I don't know about you, but Instagram it's tough for me because I see people posting like they're super happy we're in LA pictures. And I would want to be like, but where's like the reality of like legit? I went to a job interview in Studio City, not yes, Century City, and it's like nice in Century City. I'm like walking down the street. This is like my first day back in LA. after all the pandy stuff. Everything's kind of opening up. A guy is in the middle of daylight, and he's, you know, he's an unhomed gentleman from what I could assume, and God bless, but he's jacking it just out in the daylight. And I was like, what is up with guys jacking off? Like, what is the energy here? Like, of people being like, you know what, be good here, just be jacking off right in the middle of the street. Like,
Your friend is asking us to tell something shocking.
tell us something shocking and interesting. We're friends of Christy. Tell us something. Well, it's okay. So we are here for the Pisces Project, which the Pisces Project, I guess, is shocking enough because the world is fucking falling apart, it seems, according to the mainstream media. And we're just we're two queens out here trying to make sense of it all. That's the shocking part.
I am the most wild person I think I know. And yeah, so, and then Christy and I share this Mercury and Pisces situation. So, you know, we might drift off into random tangents.
Tangents of the ocean. We're just following the flow of the subconscious. That's all.
Like, so for those of you who know astrology, I have planets plus my midheaven and my north node all in water. Yeah, I'm a little bit of a mermaid. And I think we had decided we were going to talk about Pisces in love.
Yes.
Which this episode, and I was just like thinking about it, and I'm like, God, like I got a lot of Pisces and low road stories. So like, not the pricing project, Pisces, as in like Pisces season.
He's trolling us.
Is he trolling us? Do you know him?
But it's nice trolling.
That's good. Oh my goodness. Hey, Eric. Public Statement Apparel joined. What's up? And Kevin. Hey, these are my people.
What is up?
We're not selling anything, man. We're just talking about, you know.
We're just on a...
Yeah, we're talking Pisces shit. All this watery stuff, because we've got Jupiter and Neptune transiting Pisces right now, and the sun. And yeah.
Yo, if you're gonna keep that shit up, you're gonna get blocked, son. You're gonna get blocked real quick. Cause I might be a Pisces Mercury, but I'm an Aries sun. So you wanna try one more time? You're getting the big old BLOCK. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
You have a fiery moon too? I already forgot your moon. Why have I forgotten your chart? I should have it in front of me.
Sag, but it's conjunct Saturn. So.
Oh, so you're a seriously emotional bitch. You're like,
seriously.
Yeah. When you get, don't piss her off. That's what that means. Because yeah, you know, I've been observing these fire moons lately. I have made a friend here who is an Aries moon, and I'm just like watching how he operates, you know, and like it's just like the amount of steam that needs to get blown off, and then it's like everything's fine.
Yes.
And it's just like they just need to have this explosion. And you're just like, calm the fuck down, dude.
Yeah.
It's just an iPhone.
Oh, Lord. You're calling out fire signs, because fire signs, when they get mad, have to express it out loud generally. If they're not, then it'll come out in different ways. This person thinks they're a comedian, but you ain't funny at all. So
yeah, I'm no longer responding.
I'm not gonna even. That was your last warning. So say something nice and you ain't gonna, or you're out.
Oh my God. All right. Anyway, so Pisces and love. And I know that you and I were talking about the nurturing aspect because we both have prominent Cancer stuff. You have your descendant in Cancer. I have my Mars and my Saturn and my midheaven all in Cancer. So like, you know, we mothered the fuck out of people.
Yeah.
It's kind of, yeah, ingrained. But like the Pisces aspect of that. So my Venus is in Pisces, along with my Sun and my Mercury. And you know, that can create low road of that is very much like losing yourself in that relationship.
Yeah.
Because we become like, we are Pisces, we are the shapeshifters of the zodiac, you know, like if everybody has its thing, you know, I would say, you know, like Aries is the warrior and Capricorn's the workhorse. And like, you know, Aquarius is a like let your freak flag fly sign. Right? And Pisces is the shapeshifter. We're the chameleon. Like we can just fit in to any environment and with any personality type. So that's like our gift and our curse. So that opens us up to a lot of like narcissistic nonsense, which I've certainly experienced a lot of. I mean, it doesn't help that I'm the daughter of a narcissist, like malignant narcissist, and you know, he's 85 now. He's calmed down a little bit, but not really. You know. But yeah, I got some war stories for you, girl, and I'm sure you do too.
It's, you know, what we were talking about yesterday, getting ready for this live, it's like, it's tough when, you know, codependency is a language that is normal now, but it's not normal. I'm muting this person because they're driving me insane. Um, and it's just like that kind of stuff where people try to interlude into energy. You know, it's very easy to not put up the block because we're compassionate and empaths.
Yes. And yeah, people will, you know, psychic vampires exist and energy vampires exist. I always laugh. Do you watch, sorry, tangent. Do you watch,
No.
do you watch What We Do in the Shadows?
What is that, a TV show?
It was first a movie and now it's a TV series, and the TV series is brilliant. And it's like Modern Family, but a vampire house. And there's an energy vampire that lives there. It's hilarious. Okay, anyway. Total tangent.
No,
Total
I'm down
random
with that's
plunge.
amazing.
It's so funny. I mean, I can't even tell you. I think I've almost spit my food out laughing at this show. It's so good. Anyway, so energy vampires, they're real. And, you know, so often I will hear people tell me, oh, you know, your energy's so good. And like, I just feel so much better being around you. But it's like, yeah, okay, but are you reciprocating that? You know, I know now that like that is one of my gifts, is that my presence alone can heal you and make you feel better about whatever is going on. Like, I don't need to say nothing. I can just hang out with you and just be like, and I'll lift your spirits as long as I'm in the right space, right? Because another aspect of like all this water and moon and Scorpio in the first house, I cannot hide my feelings. Like when I'm not in the zone, like I'm out there and like there is no smile on my face. And if I'm crying, I'm crying. Like I'm crying. Like there's no stopping it. There's no hiding it. My heart is on my sleeve. Yeah. So are you reciprocating that? You know what I mean? Like, so I know, so I've certainly had a lot of people who just want to be around me to suck that up. And then like I go home from being with somebody and I'm exhausted and I don't know why. I mean, it took me a long time to figure this out about myself. and to understand how it worked. But I think that like now that I did, now I protect myself so much more. Yeah, just like really like looking back at like when I was working as a massage therapist, like now I understand why I was so exhausted every time I would get home from work. You know, I'd be like, can't move, I can't keep my eyes open, I can hardly feed myself, you know? And then, you know, you just wake up exhausted. And so now I understand about energy exchange. I understand how that works. I understand how I need to protect it. And that is like when I started realizing that about massage and then started applying that to sex, right? Like we're careful about who we let in our front door.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
Why aren't we careful about who we let inside our body? Steph Bryden. Hi, Steph. I love you.
Hello. Welcome.
So I think like with water signs in particular, it is even more like Pisces and that love energetic. It's so deep and it's so intense. And add to that the moon in Scorpio, right? Like the merging, and it's so powerful. And we want to connect on this level, you know? And we can very easily get like sidetracked and tricked into thinking that an excitement that we get caught up in is that connection.
Yeah.
When it's not. I'm echoing, I think. You hear that?
I hear you sound clear on my end.
I feel like I'm echoing in your house.
In my house?
When I speak, I echo in your house.
Oh, how's the sound here? Oh, I hear it now. Sometimes when we move sometimes if the camera moves around, it does try, I guess like because it's live. But we'll go with it a little bit and see what happens.
Yeah, you guys will have to tell us if the echo is too annoying.
I just really appreciate, I've met a few people that have triple water sign charts with planets in water signs. I can't imagine what that feels like on a daily basis. And can we back up? Because I know we're here to talk about love, but I think it's fascinating that you have your Saturn in Cancer. In your, is it conjunct your midheaven, or is it in your 10th?
Conjunct my midheaven on the 10th house side.
Whoa.
Yeah, girl.
And but you have that, and I'm glad that you're honest about, like, you're open with your chart, because I feel like not very many Scorpio moons are able to talk about their Scorpio moon out to the world, and you're kind of required to with your chart. Like, you're literally out there. I can't imagine what that's like just going to the grocery store. I cannot imagine what that's like, being in a crowded place. Like, when you were younger, what was before?
Somebody said hi, I'm waving back.
How did that work when you like walked into a crowded room when you were younger?
God, girl, I lived in a crowded room. I'm the youngest of 7 kids. Like, my life was crowded. I and then also, sorry, got a text message. Let me silence my phone. Huge Italian family. Kind of a blended, I guess. I don't know if it was really a blended family or not, right? Like, my dad had 4 kids with his first wife and then 3 kids with my mom, but we kind of all lived, for the most part, we all lived in my parents' house because her second husband was like much older than her and he was like, I'm done raising kids. I don't want any kids in my house. So for a while there, like here's some shit, right? Like my mom helped my dad out by giving him a down payment to buy a house for his ex-wife. And she went and lived with her man and left my brothers and sister at the house.
Fuck.
And I mean, we're talking like, I don't know, like ages like 9 to 15.
Shit.
Like, some bullshit, right? And she would drive over in the morning and like cook them breakfast and send them on their way to school and then leave and then come back when they were supposed to be getting home from school, right? And so they would just skip school and get high and like party in the house and like, I don't even know the stories that they have from those years. And I think eventually my dad must have caught on and then, you know, moved them into our house. But it was, you know, my dad's, you know, an interesting fellow, and he's a Scorpio rising and a Libra sun, and his Libra sun lands conjunct my rising sign. So I'm actually a double water air in my big 3, but I have, you know, all this water in my chart. And I just, you know, honestly, like, I think just I was on sensory overload until I left home. And like, I didn't start figuring my shit out until I was in my 20s. And people were like, oh yeah, you have this ability and you have that ability. And I'm like, oh, you know, like, so I think, you know, I moved to Colorado when I was 23. And that's kind of where I would guess my spiritual journey kind of started, because like I met a witch and she opened my eyes to some things, and you know, it's been a longer road. And then since that, like that was kind of like the slow start of things. I was like, oh, I can read auras. Oh, like I'm not actually going crazy. I can actually like see spirits. All right, cool. Now I know what those people are, you know, that keep disappearing every time I like try to say, what did you say to me? And wait, what? There's nobody there. Fuck, do I need to fucking shrink? Like, what's going on? Like, so no, she explained that to me. And that was like 99, 98, somewhere in there. And then, like in Fort Collins, Colorado. And then kind of things were like on hold for a while. And then yoga started in 2011. I started with that, on that kind of journey. And then I met you, whenever I met you. And that kind of got me on this whole like astrology kick, you know?
Well, I will say that Yoga Works itself was just like a hub of like astrologers. Plano, Texas. I do think that we should be talking about this in Plano, Texas.
Yeah, this is another troll. I think this is
I think this is the same guy.
Yeah.
Just on a different account, which you're blocked, bruh. You're blocked. I don't know. I do think that's it's kind of like symbolic of Pisces energy. It's just we get this stuff and we internalize it, and then somebody comes in and tries to interlope into a conversation. And
I don't. You know. I never try to interlope into conversations.
Well, it's just interesting.
I shut down in a crowd. I'm like, wallflower, let me sit in the corner and just watch. I'm not this talkative if there's more than 3 people around.
The gift of being a stand-up comic that I had to learn the hard way is learning not to give a fuck about what people say. And this lesson is something that I have to learn every single day. Because in the beginning, we're taught a specific thing. We're taught, like, especially I feel like where we come from. You come from Virginia, I come from Maryland. We're taught, like, you have to be a specific way. And then you learn.
I mean, I was just thinking about the fact that you said you're not like a normal Scorpio moon. Yeah, no, girl, I have Uranus on my moon in the first house. I don't fit in, as evidenced by, like, yeah. Anyway, I interrupted you. Go on.
No, but it's you do fit in. That's the thing, is like you're uniquely you. That's part of what being it. Like Pisces, if it comes down to, like, how do you even explain the sign of Pisces, is you can't explain the sign of Pisces.
Not. We're mystical fucking creatures is what we are, and we don't, like, I'm such a fucking anomaly to people who are like workhorse people. I'm like, I can't do that. Like, it'll kill me. Like, it'll physically kill me. Like, I need to recharge more than any other person I know.
Yeah.
Like, my energy output is fierce, but so is my need to put it back in. Like, I can't just, oh, by the way, day 3, no coffee. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah. I can't do that.
I've had 3 full nights of sleep. I am like, I woke up bouncing off the walls today.
Damn, that's got to be hard. No coffee.
You know what? This time around, it was not. The last time I did cut out the coffee, I did it with a Kitchery cleanse, and I had a headache for 2 weeks.
Whoa.
And this time I was just like, my body's been really asking me to stop. And I had to listen, like, it's been too much heat in my system, and my body was showing signs of that. And yeah, I was just like, all right, well, this is it. I've put my, and I had also, part of that, like, one of the things that coffee does is it suppresses your appetite, right? So it put out my digestive fire. And like, I had like 2 days where, like, I couldn't eat solid food. I was just like, I'm juicing. I can't do this.
When you talk about digestive fires, and I know we discussed this a little bit on the Firewolf podcast, but this has been such a struggle. I don't even know what to eat half the time. Like, I want to eat well, but then, like, you read, like, I get, like, my whole fucking freezer is full of frozen kale, frozen collard greens, frozen spinach. And I go online and it's like, well, that's terrible for you, like, for my hormone profile. And it's like, well, what do I eat then? What kind of greens do I eat? Like, how do I
Fresh.
Fresh greens? Okay.
Yeah, fresh, not frozen. I
Well,
use the freezer as my compost bin.
Whoa.
I don't buy frozen food. Like, I put my food trash in the freezer so that it won't stink up my garbage can.
Now, see,
And ice packs, because ice packs are imperative.
Okay, I have a question then, because, or sorry, I get really worked up, I get really excited. Okay, so I have lack mentality, right? About, especially around food. So I'm gonna just show you because my freezer's right here. Sorry if it's loud, but I will get, like, a bag of organic collard greens and freeze them, and I'll buy like 3 bags of them and freeze them, just in case the world falls apart.
Love you.
Because
sorry, I should have left.
sorry if it's loud, but it's true. Like, that's what I will do. I'm like, I make meals and then I let it cool and then I put them in the freezer, because I'm like, well, what if And that's my lack mentality. Like, I can't keep many fresh vegetables because I'm afraid like something's gonna go down. Like, is there a way, like, how do you even work with people like that? I know you're a wellness coach.
Well, it's a shift. My mom is still like at this point in her life, she lives alone and she still keeps a refrigerator like she's feeding the lot of us.
That's my dad.
I mean, I love her dearly. And I'm
My
just like,
dad.
she'll be like, your brother's coming over and we need to go to the store. And it's just like, she buys so much stuff. But she's a Libra moon, right? Like, so, and a Gemini rising. So she loves to entertain and she like, she's an Aries sun like you, Libra moon, Gemini rising. And so, and she has Uranus on her Venus in exact conjunction.
In what sign?
Oh, now you're asking me things I have to look up. I want to say it's also in Libra,
That makes, yeah.
maybe
So you said she's Libra moon with Uranus
on her
ascendant?
Venus.
Oh,
No,
Uranus Venus, sorry. Uranus
Uranus on her
Venus.
Venus and Gemini ascendant.
Shit.
So she's fire and air.
Yeah.
Quick, quick, quick.
A tough ascendant too.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like Libra ascendant is a tricky one too. With all this water and like look, Pisces already likes to people please. And then you add fucking Libra to that. Fuck. talk about getting like being like a beacon for like, you know, narcissistic, abusive people, right? Like my mom's north node, my dad's sun sit on my rising.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know,
I love these family synastry charts.
yeah,
It's really
family
interesting.
traits are a real thing. Family traits really are that they show us our tribes. They show us why we're together.
Yeah,
Um, Interesting for you to have. So relationships literally are part of your life purpose. They're part of
hmm
your life path.
absolutely. Well, and my Chiron sits in the seventh house. So like healing the relationship wound is big for me with Jupiter conjunct Chiron. And both of those pretty close to my descendant in Aries.
So you're having a Chiron return right now, technically
No,
by
no, no, not
sign.
yet. Not yet. I got
It's
like
later
five
on,
more years. I got like 5 more years before
almost
it
there.
fully returns. Because Chiron sits in Aries for like 12 years or something crazy like that.
Yeah, it's like what is it, 30? I forget if there's an astrologer on here, is it 30 years that it takes the Chiron to come around? I know around the age of late 40s to 50 is when you have the Chiron return. Sometimes with years, that's not my strong suit of remembering the years.
I want to say it depending on its retrograde cycle, it'll take, I want to say, anywhere from like 9 to 12 years to get through Aries, and it sits in Aries the longest. So like, but we hit our Chiron return around 50-51. So I got a minute. I got a minute. Let's not talk about my chronological age. I don't like it.
Girl, you look so amazing. It's like you've got like the fountain of youth, girl. You take good care of yourself. Like I
The
I
only
feel
way,
like
man. But also this is like what my sun in the sixth house. Like it is my life purpose to be about health and wellness, and Juno and Virgo in the 11th. So what am I supposed to do? Bring health and wellness to others, to the community, right? Like, sorry, we just started talking about my chart instead of like
no,
Pisces.
but that's what this is. It's like literally the Pisces project, like part of what we were discussing is it's really hard for empaths to have an online career or transition our stuff online because we're so sensitive. It's so tough,
Yeah.
you know. And I think, like, I know so many people, we do all this work offline, but if you don't, if the following thing doesn't start, what's up, Lauren? If the following doesn't start, online, it's like that harder transition. So,
Yeah, I'm not
speaking of
following that.
Libra rising, we have one on here right now.
Oh, hi, fellow Libra rising. All the nerd things. All the nerd things. So, I mean, all right, I totally lost my train of thought. You go.
Well, relationships, how, like, growing from, I mean, I think for every like extreme empath, whether you're a whether you're a water sign, whether you have a Libra rising, whether, you know, empaths themselves, like, it's all about learning about healthy relationships at the end of the day, healthy connections. And what are your biggest life lessons when it comes to relationships?
Oof, girl. Now those red flags are so fucking vibrant. Man, like I just they're just like things that like I wish I could have like sat down and talked about with my girlfriends when I was like, I don't know, 18, 20. Man, these kids in their 20s right now, they are so like as much as like I would not want to be growing up with social media culture and whatever, like the younger generation behind us, right? Like I just remember when I found yoga and I met some girl who was like 21 and she'd been doing yoga for like, I don't know how many years or whatever. And I was just like, shit, dude, like if I had been doing this since I was in my teens, like I might never have been suicidal. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, whoa. I might, well, I don't know. Like, like just the consciousness that like people are being raised with now. Um, uh, One of my girls from well, you may know her from Yoga Works, but I don't know. Like one of my friends, she has a little girl named Rumi,
Aww.
Rumi Nevea, which is heaven
That's
spelled
so
backwards. And like just like and actually, you know, Jackie Roberts too, like she's another one who's just like raising her little person with just like so much consciousness and just these little light beings and just I don't even know. Um you can you can just see it. You know what I mean? Like these kids are just so awake to and so conscious and so um kind, and that's like at the forefront of their upbringing as opposed to like I don't know, this just like rawr, let me trample on bugs and you know like I don't know like I've been very traumatized as a child. Just it's colored a lot of my viewpoint, and you know, from all like I have five older brothers and a very abusive father. I mean, he's not at this point anymore. Like we have a good now, but like when I was little, I was in fear like all the time. So I was, you know, my memories are like of being little are like constantly being afraid. Um, you know, my brother had a bed that was like, you know, high enough up off the ground that like I could hide under. And so when my dad would get mad at something, which was all the time, it seemed, you know what I mean? Like he was either like super, super loving or, you know, coming at you with the belt. And like as soon as that belt buckle would, you know, undo, I would like thank God we had a fucking big house, right? But I had this hiding spot underneath my brother's bed, and I would go into his room, and like a cat, like I would crawl all the way to the back, you know. And I'd just be like cowering there. And like that image is like my whole, like, that was like still in diapers.
Wow.
Because I was that little. So, you know, Uranus on your moon in Scorpio in the first house, right? That's that shit. Like fearing for your safety. I remember, I don't know if my basement was haunted, but like whenever I would come up the stairs for my basement, I would always feel like something was trying to get me, like literally, like I would feel like arms trying to reach for me, and I would just like, oh, I'm getting like pits in my stomach, like knots in my stomach right now, thinking about how I felt. Like I was so scared, and I don't know, like just a lot of fear. So that kind of colored, you know, my dad would get mad about who knows what, and he would be yelling and screaming, and it would scare me to death. I was little, you know what I mean? Like he'd get mad at my brothers. Like I, you know, I saw him. Actually, this was way older. He and my oldest brother got in like a fist fight when I was like, I don't even know how old I was, tween age. So I mean, that was just like a lot of my life. And then of course, like my family, my dad and has like prominent position in the community and doesn't want anybody to know that there's anything wrong, you know, that we have to have this like picture perfect image, which, you know, like when he finally left my mom, people were like, some people were shocked, right? Other people were like, no. Like my mom was telling me a story about how she went to dinner with my dad and somebody he really wanted to do business with, and the guy refused him and said, no, because with you I always have to read the fine print. Scorpio rising, Venus on his rising sign in the first house. So he was a philanderer and he's obsessed with money and power.
Yeah.
And loves rubbing elbows, bumping elbows with you know, the rich and the powerful, and always wants to be in those circles, you know. So it's interesting. So like learning astrology has really helped me understand like who my dad is better. Right? He's got Jupiter in the second house. So like all he wants to do is like hoard wealth. So, you know, that's what makes him happy.
Well, that's the part about astrology. And I was thinking about your chart while you were saying this, because you not only have that moon Uranus in the first, but your Saturn Cancer on the midheaven answers to your moon. So can I get a little nerdy astrology here?
Do it. Let's do it. Let me put on my nerd glasses.
Mine are on. Strap them on.
Wait. I'll get mine. Hold on.
We're nerding out on a Saturday.
Nerd glasses.
The Pisces project is underway.
Oh, look, I can see you now.
I like yours. They've got sparkles. Your glasses
Oh,
have
come on,
glitter.
girl. Amazon, like 4 pairs for like, I don't know, $20.
I love them.
Mine are just readers.
Are yours purple?
Something like that.
Those are cute.
I have bling. Look, I got bling on my tooth. Ting, ting. You know, I don't wear makeup anymore, so I got to keep it cute somehow.
Girl, you know you got it. Girl, you just like, hey, I'm out here just being on me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm such a dork. Sorry. Anyway, you wanted to ask something?
Well, it's interesting because your Saturn and Moon interplay. Your Saturn in the in Cancer will answer to your fourth house and your moon. So part of that is, you know, the interplay and where you find power. You know, as I'm a Saturn conjunct moon. So technically, by proxy, you're a Saturn influenced moon. So part of this is, you know, where do you find your power? Well, in Cancerian things, food. I mean, you can really heal a lot of people by teaching food empowerment because I don't know shit about food. I just know that I was taught that vegetables are good for you, fruits are good for you, and, you know, sugar and fat is bad, but then you learn about fat and you're like, well, what's the good fat and what's the bad fat? Like, I don't fucking know.
Fat's actually not bad for you. That is a myth that was perpetuated by the sugar industry.
See, I don't know this shit. Like, I know avocado is good fat. That's what I've been taught. Is olive oil good fat?
Mm-hmm. Just don't heat it.
Don't heat olive oil. Well,
Don't
I
cook
heat
with
olive
it.
oil all the freaking time.
Yeah.
Probably every day of my life.
Just don't cook with it. You want to pour it on top of food, or you can, like, if you're doing internal oiling, right? Like snehana is how we say it in Sanskrit, right? Snehana. And you can like put it like a teaspoon or a couple teaspoons in some warm water and drink it in the morning, first thing when you wake up. And that, you know, helps flush the gallbladder and binds to any lipid soluble toxins so that you can pass it. But yeah, though, like the key to like not drying up is oil.
Girl, you don't even know my struggle.
Gotta keep those cells oily and unctuous.
The struggle is real with the dry up.
Well, yeah, and you're like out in the desert, like I'm telling you, like I was out in the sun all day. Like when we hang up, I'm gonna cover myself in oil and like lay around for 20 minutes before I take my shower.
Is coconut oil good for people?
Coconut oil, it has a cooling effect. So depending on your climate, coconut oil, yeah, I mean coconut oil, that's what I cook with. But as far as like on your skin, you know, warmer climate, you want to use it when it's liquid at room temperature, not when it's solid. So if you're super, if you have like very heated, like if you suffer from inflammation or that kind of thing, if a lot of redness in your skin, that's where you bring in the coconut oil because it's cooling, right? So a lot of the Ayurveda tips and tricks are usually with sesame oil, which is generally balancing for all doshas, but coconut is definitely balancing for pitta, which is the heat. Pitta brings the heat.
Okay, can we do Doshas 101? I know we were here to talk about love.
Which we still haven't even gotten to.
I know. But this is all about love. It's self-love.
Self-love, girl. Self-love. That's right.
The relationship to self.
I mean, at the end of the day, right? Like, yes, your relationship to yourself will determine the partners you attract. And you will keep, yes, oil everything.
Yeah, Bri.
Yeah. Oil everything. Oil all your orifices, oil all your skin, oil your hair, oil it all. Yeah, girl.
I put some argan oil up in here today.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Wait, what was the question? Self-love? Dosha 101.
Doshas.
Okay. So doshas are simply they exist in nature, but the word itself means like imbalance or imperfection. So you have vata, pitta, and kapha. They consist of all 5 elements, each one, but then of course there's 2 main ones, right? So vata is air and ether, pitta is fire and air, and kapha is water and earth.
So oil.
Well, so then they each have qualities, right? So the heat actually, kapha and pitta have the qualities of oiliness, but kapha is like cold and oily, whereas pitta is hot and oily, right? And then vata is like cold and dry. Hence why when the wind starts blowing, you dry up. So it's like oil everything, oil your sinuses. That's a huge one. Oil your sinuses, especially if you're like, you know, in those windy or desert places. Just keep.
Can I ask you? I got this. I followed my intuition because I'm having a lot of dryness, but a lot of inflammation everywhere,
Okay.
everywhere.
Vata and pitta.
And that includes digestion. So I'm look. All I can be is honest. I'm a comedian, and all I can be is honest. I have, for like the last 2 years, while being on the road and while um, living my best life, I have had like constipation that has sent me to the hospital. Like really bad. It's really bad and it's been embarrassing. But I got this rose oil,
Okay.
which I know is suspended, and it's suspended in olive oil and apricot and rose hip seed oil. And this, by intuition, I dreamed of that I needed to get for my
Yep.
sinuses.
Oh, well, I was going to say on your face.
On my face?
Yeah, that's like really calming you, or, didn't you tell me that you have rosacea stuff going on that
Yeah,
comes out? Yeah.
totally.
That's going to be really good for that, for sure. The rose will calm that. And you can just get rose water and just, you know, I don't know if I would put that in your nose. It might be calming. It might be nice. Banyan makes a really nice nausea oil. Um, but you can also just take sesame oil and like put it on your pinky and,
Put
you
in
know,
your nose.
put it in your nose. Try that. See how it feels. I don't like your intuition. That's the key. If your intuition told you to go with it, tell me. It says it's in olive oil.
It's a suspension of apricot. I can't fucking say shit. Apricot, olive oil, rose hip oil, and then a bunch of other rose extracts.
Are you bleeding from your nose?
I have had, being in Texas is weird. Like today, it's freezing rain. It was 86 degrees, what, less than 3 days ago, and now it's been in like the 30s and freezing rain. So like my body has just been like, I don't know. Like my body's just like, girl, you do you,
So that's
like
vata, right? Variability is vata, right? And so the way we calm vata, because I'm always trying to calm my vata down, right? So the way we calm vata is routine and oil.
routine and
oil. Like, so routine in your sleep, routine in your food, right? The body really likes predictability. So if you can, and I know as a stand-up comedian who works a day job, like you're not going to get a whole lot of routine in your sleep, but if you can like stick to meal times and as one of my professors says, she says, bookend the stressors, right? So you know that you're going to have some crazy weather, or you know that you're going to have a really late night, do a nice self massage with like the sesame oil. Sesame oil is the one I would go to. And if you want to get fancy and order yourself some vata massage oil from, Banyan or some other Ayurvedic place, I don't know. That's the one that I use personally. I don't have a sponsorship. If they want to sponsor me, you can send me free stuff. But no, but yeah, that's the one that I personally use, is the vata massage oil. So it balances vata dosha. So if you have the time, you warm it up on the stove just a little bit. You don't need a lot. Just like cover the bottom of a 1 cup measuring cup, the Pyrex ones. I just put it on the stove, heat that up, And then I just like massage it into my skin all over, head to toe. I put it on my face, everything. And then, I just let it absorb for 20 minutes and then I take my shower. So, you can do stuff while you're, I run around the house and all slicked up and do my dishes and whatever.
When you bookend the stressors, so do you find, so our doshas, I'm guessing they change within us.
Yeah.
So they can change. So I could be like more kapha certain times, more vata other times, or more pitta.
Right. So there's your constitution or your prakriti, and that is like your basic, hi Dave, what's up? Your prakriti, so your constitution, that's what you are born with, right? That's like your eye color and your hair color, and you know what I mean, like that kind of your bone structure, right? Like your skin type, that stuff. And then there's what is called in Sanskrit your vikriti, which is your current state. And the current state can change at any given time, right? Based on the energy that you're taking in from the outside world, right? What are you watching on TV? Who are you hanging out with? What kind of food are you eating? Are you eating chips, which are dry and rough, or are you eating warm and moist and well spiced? Are you eating, so if you're having constipation, stay away from dry food, stay away from raw food, right? But like if you're having diarrhea, you may want to go towards the salad, like it's all about understanding the qualities of the energy and being able to read that and respond appropriately.
Yeah.
I fucking love this shit.
It's like amazing.
It's like we are a part of nature, and that's like all that this practice like teaches is just like how to work in harmony with that. Like so much of modern life is trying to cheat nature or just ignore it altogether. Like lights after dark, like this all this late night stuff, right? Like, okay, great. So if I know I'm going to have a late night, maybe I do an abhyanga before I go out and I meditate when I get back before I go to bed.
What's an abhyanga?
That's the oil massage, self-massage.
Okay.
So like maybe I'll warm up some oil, I'll slick myself up before I get in the shower, and it doesn't have to be 20 minutes, ideally 20 minutes, but if you can only get 5 minutes in, just like, love yourself, love on yourself. And like the energy, what you're thinking as you're touching your body is important. It's like, if you're like rubbing your leg and going, God damn cellulite, like that energy is going to go into your back into you. But like, if you're like, I love my body and I'm giving it nourishment and I'm giving it what it needs and my arms are awesome and thank you for, how you serve me. And, that kind of come from that kind of place of gratitude, it changes. It's like, I'm doing this wonderful thing for myself and it's calming to my nervous system, I love my abhyanga. Every once in a while, I'll do it after the shower, and then I, then I use some like nice smelling oil because the medicated, like the herbal oils that you get for the doshas are not, they don't smell nice, and they will make your clothes smell rancid. So I don't recommend that. But yeah, if you can do it before you're showered. Then you get to jump out of the shower with super soft skin and you're not an oil slick. It's great.
If people are on a budget, let's say, because there's been times where I've been on a straight up like survival budget, and I tried to be really smart about eating. So like based on what I knew I needed protein, I knew I needed fiber. But there have been times in my life where I couldn't get vegetables and stuff like that.
Is that just because of access to?
Yeah, I mean, when I was in the car, I mean, it was oatmeal packets, but I knew I couldn't get like ones with sugar, so I got like plain. And
that doesn't taste so good.
It doesn't, but I put like like cinnamon powder because I knew that cinnamon was anti-inflammatory. And then for protein, like because of my budget, I know it's not the best, but I got peanut butter, like because I knew it's what I could do at the time. And we have questions here.
Yes, I see.
Bryce,
Bry's
uh,
asking about male skin. Yeah, sesame oil works on all skin. It's not particularly girly. You know, if you run around with that in the world, you're going to smell like stir fry. It's not particularly a girly scent. Um, if you live does Bry live in Texas with you?
yeah, he's in, I feel like he's in more of a food desert. I'm in Austin, it's not a food desert. I don't know, where he lives, it's like very, very almost Oklahoma.
Okay.
And from being in Oklahoma, I can tell you from a personal basis, it's kind of a food desert.
Well, sesame oil, just make sure that you're getting like raw sesame oil, not toasted. Um, and like I said, do it before your shower and just let it sit for 20 minutes before you take your shower. And then you come out of the shower, and then, you know, you're moisturized, but then you're not oily and you don't smell like anything weird, you know. If you're looking for something to put on after the shower, because sometimes with all the soaps and stuff that we use, like we need some moisture after the shower. Yo, dude, cocoa butter. I love me some cocoa butter. Like that smells amazing on whoever. But that's a little, but it can also get really greasy. So that's more of like a summertime situation. Or coconut oil in the summer. That one it smells good, and you can put it on after your shower and um let it sit, let it soak in for a little bit. And then here's another trick you can do. If you're doing the after the shower and it's something that doesn't smell gross, you oil yourself up, kind of like let it soak in a little bit so that it absorbs, so your skin actually absorbs it. And then you wipe off the excess with a dry washcloth, and then you can go about your merry way without like staining everything you touch. Because that's the thing about oil, man. Like it stains things. It's, you know,
I
it'll
feel
stain your
like,
clothes.
Andrea, I feel like you should be on TikTok telling people about this. This would be an amazing TikTok series. Like,
I don't know how to do TikTok.
Ayurvedic TikTok.
This is my first ever IG live.
No way!
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so exciting. Welcome to IG Live.
I need some millennial help. Or something. I don't
And
know.
millennials need your help. We don't know what to fucking eat because the world is confusing.
Nobody knows what to eat, man. Like, yeah, food deserts are real. Man, where I used to teach, the yoga studio where I used to teach in LA, man, there was Ralph's, which I think had a small organic section, but like at least that was there. I mean, it's LA, so. But like all the restaurants were like ribs and barbecue and, you know, KFC and Taco Bell, and Food Lion was the you know, other main food store chain there. Like nothing good. You had to drive to get anything good. So, you know, here is here is a little different as far as access to good produce. There is one farmers market that happens on Saturdays where you can get like a whole bunch of organic stuff. And wait,
Yeah.
which one sounds like amarillo? The food, like the LA, where the LA
Food
or
desert.
here, food desert.
Yeah, I remember being in Amarillo and I was looking for food. I got hummus and carrots in a packet and boxed wine, and that's it. That's what I got in Amarillo. That's what was my grocery store run. That's it. So, yeah.
Yeah. I've been vegan a long time. So I've been vegan since 1998. Oh my God, I just had a, okay. I'm not going to comment on that thought in my head. All right, hold on.
Ah, ha, ha, I just thought your thought.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Okay, so I've, sorry guys, inside joke. Hold on, I just gotta like cry out some tears real quick. Or laugh out some like laughing tears, laughing at myself. Oh my God. And my blushes are something hard too. Oh my God. Okay. Vegan since 98. And I've done a lot of road trips. Like I've been cross country a lot. And like so back in the day, like when I was a junk food vegan, you know, Taco Bell, and then Chipotle came along and so actually Chipotle is a really great spot to like when you're on the road. Um, because beans.
It's also
Beans
a
and salsa.
laxative.
Huh?
It's also a proven laxative as well.
The beans?
Just
Or
their vibe.
oh yeah, I don't have a problem, but I pretty much go in there and I get beans and salsa and go on my merry way because I don't eat rice anymore and like I just kind of make a bowl. But so it's been an interesting journey because like back in the 90s, people were like, "What's vegan?" And you're like, "I don't eat anything from an animal." And they're like, "So you eat fish?" I'm like, "No." And then it's like I kind of went from like ordering sides of broccoli at restaurants to like then all the technology like increased, and this was all before I cared about my health, right? So then I was eating like tofurkey and
Peace, man.
bye bye. um so like yeah, it was like tofurkey and all the fake meats and the fake cheeses and the you know and then I developed this soy allergy. So then I went back to the basics and now I just eat plants again in plant form. Like, and so if you're looking at things that way, it's a little harder on the road. They do make these like instant pots that are like lunchbox sized. Have you seen these things?
Mm-mm.
They are, you know, like not the greatest thing in the world because the tin that they're in that is inside that cooks the food or whatever, but it's like you can actually cook in your car and you can plug this thing into your cigarette lighter, which I guess they don't make anymore. Showing my age. Showing my age. But I think they put power outlets in cars now, right? So like you can plug, they make these little.
Yeah, but that did teach me something. Is my health taught me how I need to go on the road from now on.
Nene. Hi, Nene. She's one of my friends from Italy, from Dona.
What's up? Talking about food.
Talking about food. So good to see you. She lives in Japan.
Aw,
She's awesome. Love her. Thanks for joining.
thank you.
Talking about Pisces things, but we're also talking about food things because my son is in the sixth house, and this is kind of like my jam. So yeah, traveling cross country, like you can get yourself these little things to keep in your car, and you can cook your food, and you know get yourself a little setup. That way, and even if you're not cooking it in the car, you know what I mean? Like you can get small little travel size crock pots that you can put in your hotel room. And vegetables, I gotta tell you, they're cheap. You get yourself some beans and some veggies, and you know, they canned food isn't the greatest, but like they do make those like vacuum sealed pouches. Not the greatest, but like if you're in a pinch, you know, get some healthy foods in you,
Yeah.
as opposed to like that prepackaged, you know, ramen noodles or like cup of noodles. Like you're just, it's like chemical laden food like substances. It's not even really food. It's just like something that like satiates the pain, hunger pain. I'd rather see you fast at that point.
Yeah. I should have fasted. And sometimes I wouldn't even eat the noodles. I would just drink the broth because at the end, towards the end, like I noticed my stomach was, and that's why I'm facing the repercussions of many years of eating ramen noodles. At the time, it's what I could afford. I've done it. I could do it again if I had to, but I don't. Right now, my body is retaliating from all those years of ramen noodles.
Another digestive tip for being on the road: make sure you have digestive tea with you. Start each morning with it. Cumin, coriander, fennel, like those are your super secret in your back pocket weapons. And then like if you can take some triphala, take, you know, some, you know, a couple tablets at night, couple tablets in the morning. That's going to keep your digestion chill while you're on the road. I used to have those same problems. Like every time I get in an airplane, I would totally get constipated, and I'd also get sick. Like every time I traveled, I'd get a sinus infection. But I basically have only gotten sick once since I got my septum fixed. So January 2020. You know.
Well, I feel like there's so much we could talk about. I want to keep this as close to an hour as possible.
Totally.
But I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to come on this live and this Pisces project. I love it. Like, this is so cool.
I love it. Thank you for inviting me to do it, because, you know, I wouldn't have otherwise. You know, I'm an idea haver, and then I'm just like, oh, that would be cool. Let's not put that into fruition. Just put that out in the universe and see what comes.
I think you have so much knowledge, and like you teach me so much every time I speak to you, and like the fact that we've got like all my friends, we have like these little like text message memos that we send to each other, and I'm like, these are podcasts, like these need to be out there. So like thank you, and we'll definitely do this again. I would love to do this again.
Well, I think we have two more.
We have two more
for what we agreed to do, right?
Woo! Two more
Yeah.
Pisces project.
Yeah.
Woo!
And so are we going to be sticking with the IG live? Or are we doing same time, same bat channel? Like,
will next Saturday at 4:33, 3:33 work for you?
That would work for me. I mean, I don't know. Does that work for everybody else?
I think it works.
If it doesn't, I don't know. We'll just go with the flow. I'll let you know. I don't think I'm doing anything.
Yay! I love it. Thank you, Andrea. I miss seeing your face.
I miss you. I love seeing your face. This is so much better than a phone call.
Yes.
I like it. Is this also going on your podcast, or are you? So you're recording on your Anchor app right now?
No, this is just going to go on IG Live, and then I'm going to figure out, if you're comfortable, a way to put it on YouTube, if that's okay. Would you feel comfortable with that?
Instagram. I mean, why would I care if any different if it's on YouTube? I mean, it's out, right? Like, but, well, thank you. And we'll see you in a week or so.
Yay! Have a great day.
Love you, girl.
Love ya.
Mwah.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining.